good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to Uncensored, the truth about money. Welcome to another episode. Thank you so much for joining us, wherever you're joining us from, whether South Africa, Gauteng, overseas, US, UK, Japan. We have listeners in Japan. Can you
Is it?
imagine? Yeah. Ay.
They must invite us over.
Suga mapozi. Welcome to another episode. We are on season 2. If you didn't know, this is season number 2, and today we're covering episode number 5. So, as we had mentioned, in season 1, that we are talking about small businesses. Whether you want to start a small business or you already have a business, and you just want more information on how to. Obviously, you won't know everything, you know. So yeah, this is very valuable information for you. So, Utilzo, you said
that
you're
word
gonna
is coming.
start this show.
That word is coming.
You said you're gonna start this show, Pratamzo.
No. Shapun.
Great.
Ah,
I was just
good
with V. Now.
Yeah.
He says he's gonna send you an invoice for the information he provided on accounting.
It's going to be text.
That's a good one.
Is a kind of is the what? VAT included?
VAT
inclusive
included.
or not
You
inclusive?
can find out from him. I don't know. Fede, how are you doing, man?
Nah, my man, I'm good. Can't complain, eh?
Yeah.
Good to be here.
We're talking about TripleBEE today.
Oh yeah.
Where all our black people at.
Oh yeah. Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it, right?
Yeah, man.
Can you just explain what's the whole concept behind TripleBEE?
So initially, I get it was known as BEE, so Black Economic Empowerment. So it came from the whole political system where, remember, in the apartheid era, government policies used to favor white people. So white people would thrive, and it was hard for us black people to go into business and actually do well and do business, let's say, with the state, for example. So that's when the whole BEE term came in, where they tried to balance things out, try to favor black people in terms of them getting more opportunities within South Africa. So the term TripleBEE, broad-based Black Economic Empowerment. So they realized it's not just black people, there's Indians as well, there's coloreds as well, there's even Chinese.
The ones that are listening and watching right now.
Yeah, so that's how the term came about, So everyone who was disadvantaged in the apartheid era, they tried to basically make, the scales or the playing ground much favorable for them as well. Yeah.
So even Chinese.
Chinese are there.
As long as they're not white.
I know.
So I don't know if when I was growing up, right? There
Yeah.
was this thing. So every time you'd see like a black person, obviously this is post 1994, right?
Yeah.
Every time you'd see a black person driving a BMW,
Yeah.
automatically you'd be like, I'm a BE.
Yeah, man. Yeah, people were I think the concept or the policy, back then, it was that in theory it made sense, but in practicality, like we saw a lot of irregularities happening, because of such.
Yeah.
But as time, developed, because even white people were actually becoming clever as well, with this whole BE thing. Because all it took, I get it, was just shareholder. So they just needed to change the shareholdership in the company, maybe to 51%. And they'd make their gardeners. So the gardener would be, a shareholder in the company, who obviously works in the house, and they wouldn't know, But there's people that have actually, made millions, from the, how can I put it, from the white people cheating the system. Those gardeners and OCs, they soon became millionaires after they found out.
So there were a lot of loopholes within this.
There were a lot of loopholes, my man. There were a lot of, and there still are loopholes. I mean, in the new democratic era, how many companies do you see? Siakula transportations, but there's no black people when you enter that office. So yeah, so people became clever, rigged the system, but yeah, things are starting to become better as well, obviously, because now there's agencies that are, trying to regulate everything. Yeah.
Nice. So what kind of businesses qualify for triple BE?
All right, so that's an important question because I think that's based on the turnover of the company, right? So if the company, so you get, they list them as three categories. So you get EMEs, which is exempted. Let me get the word. Exempted, exempted micro enterprises, right? And then you get qualifying micro enterprises, and then you get medium to large enterprises. So with your EMEs, which is your exempted micro enterprises, so you're looking at a turnover where a company makes a turnover of not more than 10 million, per annum. And then with your QSEs, which is your qualifying small enterprises, it's companies that are not, that are making between 10 million and 50 million. And then with your medium to large enterprises, it's 50 million and above. So all those can qualify for BEE. But obviously there's the certain criteria that they need to meet in all those three spaces.
So what exactly does this mean? Does this mean like you're getting some sort of like money from the government as a business or what?
So I think they remember with going to the initial question, right? What is BE? So they're trying to basically empower black people. So with you having, let's say, BE score rating of level 1, which is obviously like your top rating, you're much more favorable to get, let's say, tenders. Because Utruna now, they know Uti, he's empowering not just himself, but, let's say other black people as well. So they're trying to do that. So that's why it's more favorable for you to have like a BE certificate or BE compliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So now, what is the difference between a BEE affidavit and a BEE certificate?
I think it's pretty much the same thing. So obviously it depends with the categories in terms of the EME, QSE, and MLE, right? So with your affidavit, so that's with your turnover of 10 million or less. So that's with your exempted media micro enterprises, right? So with that, you just basically, if you are 100% black owned, so you at level 1. If you 50% and above, you're at level 2. If you 50%, if you're lower than 50%, you're at level 4. So with that, you just need to get an affidavit from SIPS and take it to, let's say, police station and get an affidavit signed. So as with your other categories, your QSE and your MLE, that's where you have to get a certificate, BE. Obviously, with you meeting, certain criterias.
So that answers my next question, because then my next question was going to be, how do you then obtain, obviously I understand that it depends on the size of the business.
Yeah.
Then how do you then obtain a certificate depending on the size of the business, which you've just pretty much answered now. Is that your final answer or is the...
Is that your final answer? So,
would like to get into
yeah, so I think obviously you'll touch up on one of the questions. So as I said that with your QSEs and your ML, so you're qualifying small enterprises and your medium to large enterprises. So with that, obviously you have to have a certificate, and as obviously we'll speak about it further. There's certain pillars that you need to meet for you to get obviously that certificate, so and be rated properly.
Sure, I hear you. So I understand there are 5 pillars of TripleBEE.
Yeah.
What are those 5 pillars?
All right. So we spoke about the TripleBEE certificate, right? All right. So with your ML, medium to large enterprises, so they give them pillars for them to qualify in terms of the ratings, right? So there's ownership. So ownership is basically self-explanatory. If there's more black people owning the company, there's certain percentage points that are awarded to them, all right? management control. So management control is, how many black people are in top management, or how many black people affect the strategic objectives or strategic plans of the company, right? Then you get skills development. So skills development is how many black people are you training within your organization. And you get enterprise development. So enterprise development, that's the, how can I put, the heavyweight when it comes to the 5 pillars. So that's where you are now supporting your fellow black companies. So if, let's say, I'm into carpentry, if I'm buying, let's say, handles from another, black-owned company, that increases my enterprise points. Then you get your other 5th pillar, which is your socio-economic development. So this is now investing, obviously, in black empowerment projects, whether it's in the townships or wherever it may be. So those are the main 5 pillars when it comes to the BE
So, Manje, who
certification.
keeps track of these things?
So there's an agency. There's agencies that come and obviously check if you are cooperating with this. But the mother of them is SANIS. So SANIS is the one that checks those agencies if they are doing the right thing. And if, let's say, for example, Kyajunior in his company, let's say it's 51% black owned, and he's supporting other black businesses. But when they actually come and check that Kyajunior is doing the right things, they have the right to revoke your BEE certificate.
Well, obviously, yes. So obviously, you're gonna go to them because you want to obtain a certificate.
Yeah.
So that's why you would approach them, and then what is meant by TripleBEE rating?
So the ratings, as I said, so with your first category, so which is your exempted micro enterprise. So there's only 3 levels there, right? So there's level 4, level 2, level 1. So level 1 is obviously 100% owned. If it's female owned, also that increases your ratings. If it's youth owned, that also increases your ratings. So with your other 2 categories, like your qualifying small enterprise and your micro to large enterprise. So with those, that's where the pillars come into play. All right. And the pillars all have points. Like, for example, your ownership has like 25 points. Management control has, I think, 19 points. Skills development is like another 20 points. The other one, which is empowerment, enterprise development, has like 40 points. So all those points, when they're combined, they give you certain ratings. So if you meet all those criterias and they've scored you properly, you can go to like a rating of 1.
And are they only just, because you made mention, I think, of 3 levels? Are they only just three levels?
So with your EMEs, there's only 3 levels. So it's level 1, 2, and 4, all right? And then with the other 2 categories, it goes up to level 8. Okay. Well, from level 8 to level 1.
Yeah. And obviously, the best level to be at would be
number 1, boss.
Level 1.
At the top.
I think we're done from my side. I don't have any more questions for you, bro.
Oh, that's nice. As we always say, like it's nice to do your research and to learn about these things. I think there's, like, with other episodes that we've recorded so far, and these episodes as well, like, you get to learn a lot. Even with this one, this TripleBEE one, like, I think, like, as you're putting it, the name gets thrown out there, but you don't really know what it actually means and how it can actually favor you, as a business or a black-owned business.
So, Manje, as an individual, can I apply for a government tender? Like, I don't have a business.
Nah, brother.
So I have to register a business.
Yeah. So the main things that they want, obviously, when you, but we'll cover that in other episodes, is for you to obviously have a business, and it depends on which category you are, submitting your tender into. Like, for example, in construction, there's like certain levels. Your CIDB level 1, and it goes all the way to, I think, level 7 or 8. So with that as well, they need your BEE compliance certificate. With that, they need your tax compliance certificate as well. So you need to be basically a company.
Hayi man. Noma groot man agcwele ekasi. Ahlala njengamabhitha nowathola kanjani?
Hey, they're running their own businesses, my man.
Right. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching, guys. So if you have any more further questions, please hit us up on Instagram. So our handle is uncensored_the truth about money. And then please note that this episode is also available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Google Podcast as audio. And then if you are listening to the audio right now, you can watch this podcast on YouTube under uncensored_ the truth about money. Truth about money, very important, because if you search just uncensored, there are a lot of things out there. Thank you so much. Any last words, Thami?
No, I'm good on my side, my man. Like as always, it's always nice to be here just to share some information, to learn as well, from all these topics. And yeah, we hope that, the listeners and viewers, they're actually getting a lot of insight and knowledge from these things. But as you said, that if they've got more questions, they put in the comment line, and yeah, we'll tackle those soon.
And thank you so much, man, because I understand this is out of like your comfort zone. I know you were just 10 minutes, you were stressing.
My man, yeah. But what can you say?
Cool.
We're here.
Tune in for what's the next episode? Do you know?
I don't know. I know it's about money.
Of course. Thanks, guys. We out.
Sure, guys.